Ah, yes. You hear that sound? That is the delicious taste of non-alcoholic athletic brewing. If you're looking for a change or you're sober curious, check out Athletic Brewing. Go to willcoca.com/athletic brewing. Use code WILLC20 and get 20% off your next purchase. Welcome, everybody, to the Will Coca Podcast. Another 5-Minute Friday starts now. Happy Friday, everybody. We made it. We made it to another Friday. How are you guys doing? This week, we announced that we're having a baby girl. We are so excited to welcome her in February, and now the task begins to think of names, which got me thinking, what's in a name? The story that's told is I was named after a very friendly neighbor, which I'm sure was a gentle soul, but besides that, I don't know much about him. So the name William didn't come with a lot of family attachment. There was really no goalpost to hit. If you look it up, the name William means resolute protector, strong-willed warrior, and comes from an old German name, Wilhelm. Yeah, don't know how I feel about that one. But nonetheless, it's my name. And throughout the years, that name has changed. When I was young, it was William. When I was a little bit older in grade school, it was Willie, all the way up until high school, where it became Will, with the occasional teacher asking me if I go by Bill, which I would quickly respond, absolutely not. Now, thinking about naming our baby girl is tough. You have to think about how the name rolls off the tongue. Is it a mouthful? Does it have a meaning? Who are the people we want to honor by naming our baby girl this name? But then I also wondered, what if we just go off the cuff and write our own story? A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and leave some space to create meaning, so she can create her own meaning, like I have. There's something in jazz that they say that the beauty in jazz and the magic that happens in jazz is in between the notes. In spiritual life, some say that's where God appears, is in between the moments. And being a fan of both, I tend to believe they can be one and the same. When you listen to Miles Davis and you listen to where he chooses to take his breaths or not to take his breath, it creates space that's uniquely him. When you put on that vinyl, you know exactly who you're listening to. Because it's not just what he does and what he plays, it's what he chooses not to play that makes him Miles. So like I said before, the 3 incarnations of my name were William, Willie, and Will. And each one of those has a specific moment tied to them, almost like a tempo change in a song. I don't know if my parents thought that far ahead, knowing that my name would change, almost becoming shorter and shorter with time. But regardless, it was left up to me to decide what's in my name for me. So as we navigate the waters of naming our baby girl, and the lists and pages of name goes on, I can't help to think if we should leave some room for some spaces, the in-between moments. Some of you can relate that when you're expecting a child, there is so much that you try to control that you really have zero control over. And maybe that's the way it always is after you have a kid. So maybe instead of a goalpost, a goal of trying to fulfill some predetermined meaning to a name, names maybe are more like guideposts. Not necessarily leading us a certain direction, but just lighting the way. I know that's what it's kind of felt like for me. And I know there was a time where I really wanted to have a predetermined meaning to my name, almost like a legacy to fulfill. But I'm learning now that it's the spaces in between that matter. It's in between the notes. That's what's in a name. Thanks for listening, folks. That's been another 5-Minute Friday.